Appreciate your time, folks. Magnesium Monday, guys. Resolution Race 2020 in the building. I want to ask yourself a few questions. I want you to think, do you dictate you or do someone else dictate you? Now, you probably got an answer and you're probably looking all sarcastic and you knowing what you're going to say, but I want you to listen to some of this information before you answer that question. Now, you see what I have in front of me. Some of my favorites, some things that I do each and every day and have talked about them for months, even years in my videos right here. Got the bananas, the black beans, the nice walnuts, and the avocados. Full of magnesium, folks. Full of life. Full of health. And not none of the nonsense that you normally watch on YouTube or Facebook. You look at the different memes. And you look at the different things and the jokes people have for the new year. And you hear the term, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And I'm sure a lot of your friends been coming up to you and say, well, I'll quit smoking on the first. And I'll quit eating pork. Or I'll quit eating fried foods. And I'll go to the gym. I'll do this and I'll do that. Yada, 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 yada. Well, we know the time is now, folks. The time is now, and Resolution Race 2020 is in the building to help you. And for those that know, I've built a channel specifically for magnesium because it is an issue when we're faced with an illness. It's a big issue, folks. And I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. A lot of times it's not what we're doing that's affecting us, which it is, but a lot of times it's the things that we're not doing. And many researchers have found out that magnesium is a problem when they're, number one, faced with heart disease, when they're faced with bone disease, when they're faced with the inability to relax and get a proper rest, when they're faced with restless leg syndrome and all kind of muscle issues, and many more things to name, and also fatigue. That's a big one, folks, when it comes to fatigue. And it's due to a lack of magnesium. Now, you go about your day each and every day when you go to work and you go to lunch and you say, well, I don't have time to get me something nice, or I didn't have time to prepare anything, so I'll stop by this burger joint. And again, folks, I love to eat out sometime. I love those fries and those French toast sticks and pancakes in different places that we have. But we can't let that control us. We can't let that be part of our normal diet. You see, many of us have our resolutions or our illusions where we think that things are just going to just come to us without any effort or work behind it. Now, at first I asked you, do you run your life or do someone else run it? When we keep going to work and we keep planning our schedule based on what someone else wants and not what we need, that becomes a problem. What I mean by that, folks, well, a lot of time we may get up for work 5 o'clock, 6, maybe have to be there at 6, maybe 7. We run out the door, we've taken care of everything except us, and we're preparing for the job. If you work in food, or if you work in retail, or if you work in an industrial place, it's always about what they want and not what you want. And we should be number one on the list before anything. We should be before all those other folks, because how are we going to take care of them when we haven't taken care of ourselves? Think about that. We go on the job or we go out in the field and help our kids and our family, our mother and father, but we hadn't really taken the time out to tend to our own needs. That should be at the top of your list of something that you want to change. Now, I know that you're a nice person, maybe. And if you need to tend to us for them. And here's how you do it, folks. Are you preparing to bring your lunch every day? Are you preparing at least some of these things in order to lower some of the issues that you're faced with? Now, of course, again, do you run your life or do someone else run it? Or you're living for someone else and paying the price for their ignorance? Or will you take care of yourself, do your own research, folks? When you have that illness, when you're faced with it, whether it's a blood pressure problem or whether it's an issue with your leg, muscle problems, as I mentioned earlier, the magnesium deficiencies. and you go and you get diagnosed, and you take a pill for something that not even important. That's what I mean. And then you're looking for a medical professional to answer your questions for you. When the real problem is, ask yourself what I'm not getting versus what I am receiving each and every day. So that's the focus, folks. Focus on you and don't let anyone run your life but you. Now, you may be saying, well, I don't let anybody run my life. Well, if you're not taking care of you first, you're deceiving. You in an illusion versus a resolution, folks. So you're in an illusion versus a resolution. Someone else run your life if you don't tend to it yourself. Many of you go on the job and say, well, I want something better. And you go to work on their time versus your time. Do you ever attempt to leave that place? Now, if you like it, if you like what you do, then that's fine. But look around, and many people not even paycheck to paycheck. It's one thing if you're paycheck to paycheck, but people not even paycheck to paycheck anymore. And we do nothing about it. Many of you said before the new year, I need to leave this place for the new year. I'm leaving. I'm walking out the door. For the new year, there's no way I'm bringing the new year in working at this sorry place. And you look around, January that passed by, it's still there. The same go when it comes to, I'm going to eat right when January comes. January then came. And I come up to some people and I say, you ready? And they say, oh no, I'll be ready on January 2nd. Because I had an issue. And January 2nd come around, and then before you know it, it's the 5th. Then it's the 6th. And then, I had an issue come up in the family. Oh, my dog died. Oh, my car broke down. It's this and it's that. It's one thing after another. When will the excuses stop? When will we just grab hold of it and say, enough is enough? I'm going to change today. You can start right now with some magnesium foods. Now, of course, if you're not able to prepare your own meals, maybe you can start next week. But here's some things that you can incorporate in your diet. When you're at that fast food restaurant, I get it, folks. It's hard to just stop cold turkey when there's so many issues going on in your family. And the circumstances just don't permit it, at least for the few days or a few weeks. How about bring a banana along with that fast food? How about when you go over to those sandwich shops, put a little avocado in there. Carry this in your pocketbook for women. How about bring some walnuts along with you if you're going to get a salad from somewhere? We know that salad is loaded anyway with salad dressing and things that are just not beneficial to you. Things that are not really healthy. How about put a little bit of black beans in there? And carry these in a cup. Sometimes I eat them for breakfast. That's right, I eat them for breakfast. I offer people some for breakfast sometimes, and they look at me crazy. Why? Because they've been taught to do things on a tradition, not eat things at a certain time. Again, folks, do we run our life, or do someone else run it for us? So, I think I'm going to eat my meal right now. I got a big meal right here. Mo on Monday special. And here I got a little tea with some strawberry hibiscus. Now I'll get into hibiscus down the line on some other videos. You can check me out. Very, very beneficial when it comes to heart health. Helping widen those blood vessels up. So, got my chips right here, folks. Now, most people on MTV Cribs, they show you their house. They show you all the cars that they have. But I want to show you what I have. Here's my crib. Or here's what I'm using to build my crib up. This is my crib here. All this. You see all of that? This is my crib. Turn the camera where you can see it. Got some avocado in there. Black bean. You really can't see it, but I'll just go in there. Some cheese. Some onion, folks. And some meat along the way. Some cilantro. So those are some healthy things for you. I just wanted to count that out. But again, folks, I'm going to sign off right here. You all hit that subscribe button. Share the video along the way. There are plenty of people, folks, that are in need of help. They're dying of it. They're saying all the time, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll. This is the time you can help them, folks. Help them. Now, again, I mentioned some things that are in here that are beneficial. If you can just give me one of them that have magnesium in them, click done below, along with the code that I'll give you. I went out to some places today, but click done below, along with one interesting thing that is in my bowl here with my rice and chicken and some other items. An item that has a lot of magnesium in there. Signing off, folks. Until then, have a good day.